Hello, everyone. Today, I'm doing something a bit different. I was reading aloud what I wrote for this week, that if you're subscribed to my email writing newsletter, you would have received in your inbox today. I was reading aloud for my husband every single word of that while he made coffee this morning. And he told me or asked me if I would read it aloud for you. And so I know it's not something that's done very often. I think in the past, authors would often read their works aloud. If you think back to Jane Austen and Anna Green Gables, all those who love those stories. So I'm going to do that today with an essay I wrote called What to Do When Hungover with Doubts. I woke up this morning with a hangover. Not the kind from too much booze or a bad dream of being trapped in a meatpacking plant after watching a documentary on veganism. True story. Last Friday, I treated myself with a Starbucks chai latte to celebrate my discipline. 5 mornings of waking up at 6 a.m. to write for 90 minutes straight. Now a week has started, a new week, and although my body was up and ready to frantically type, the real Olivia was not. I had a lot of excuses. It's freezing cold outside, and I deserve an extra hour nestled in my personal cocoon of flannel shades. And I stayed up late watching my home football team, the Kansas City Chiefs, win a game that sent them to the playoffs. Making the buffalo wings, the stress of the game, my constant searching for a shot of Taylor Swift in the stands, they all tired my soul. Those were the first round excuses and gave easy blows. During an extra hour with eyes shut but mind awake, the real bruisers entered the arena. Why do all this hard work when it will go nowhere? You don't get paid for it, no one reads it, no reward is coming your way. You don't have what it takes to be a writer. You're all alone, you get too depressed, and you cannot sustain the discipline. You've told yourself before that you would finally do it right. Every time you've tried, you've promised, and you've failed. This time will be no different. Reader, you know what I'm talking about. You've stood in the same boxing arena. You entered the ring with confidence and a cape of white satin that was still shiny. You trained until you knew that you had the fight in you. Your coach and everyone else said you could do it. Then a giant of an opponent stepped into the ring. His large pecs gleamed under a layer of oil, a big gap between 2 gold front teeth that could bite your right ear off. You are scared. I'm scared. And it's easier to gather the sides of my flowing cape, jump over the ropes, run past my coach and proud husband in the stance, and quit it all. Or just stay in my warm sheets. And what am I guaranteed if I stay for the fight? Bruises and pain, broken teeth that I too may be forced to encrust in gold, proof of a fight that shows who I am, not who I seem to be. I rarely see my true self. Instead, I see a softened version that is much more comfortable hidden in the corners of life, busy with work emails and trips to grocery stores, saving up for vacation or kids' college bills, filling my waking hours with news stories, Netflix, Instagram, and podcasts. C.S. Lewis reminds us of who we really are. It is a serious thing to live in a society of possible gods and goddesses, to remember that the dullest, most uninteresting person you can talk to may one day be a creature which, if you saw it now, you would be strongly tempted to worship, or else a horror and a corruption such as you now meet, if at all, only in a nightmare. All day long we are, in some degree, helping each other to one or the other of these destinations. It is in the light of these overwhelming possibilities, it is with the awe and the circumspection proper to them, that we should conduct all of our dealings with one another, all friendships, all loves, all play, all politics. There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. Nations, cultures, arts, civilizations, these are mortal, and their life is to ours as the life of a gnat. But it is immortals whom we joke with, work with, marry, snub, and exploit. Immortal horrors or everlasting splendors. From his essay, The Weight of Glory. If we let Mike Tyson strip away the gaudy cape and destroy our body, what would be left beneath the pile of skin and the rubble of bones? C.S. Lewis says it. A powerful, eternal being whose light is so beautiful you'd tremble and worship, or whose darkness is so grown that it belongs in a horror film. I know. The voices in your head are fighting with the great Lewis, reminding you that you cannot be that extraordinary. You deal with depression. Make a salary that allows you to barely scrape by. You lack the discipline to accomplish dreams, or are simply alone. Although I am certainly not the God of the universe, I am also not a mere mortal who is defined by teeth that get busted and bite marks on earlobes. I do not write for a chai latte every Friday or to finally make enough money to permanently delete that dreaded budget app on my phone. These are things I crave because all I've known is a mortal world, but I am more. You are more. Forgive me. Most days, I step into the ring and cower instead of bringing the powerful light and extreme goodness of my true self. Someone built in the image of a generous, unshakable God. Forgive me. Some days I don't see you. I want you to do everything possible to help my weakened mortal self feel safe. Always be kind to me, even on Facebook. Don't make me feel inferior to your smarts, your promotions, your Christmas vacations in Aspen donning expensive ski gear. Avoid sharing your beliefs that radically differ from mine. And for God's sake, learn to use a turn signal when driving left onto Randolph Avenue. This sort of life is beneath us all. Get out of those flannel sheets, even though they are comfy and embroidered with doubts. Wake up. Look in the mirror. Don't see the quickly forming wrinkles or the zit on your chin everyone at school will notice. Peel back the mortal and stare into your eyes. They are stars, powerful and filled with light that neither miles of darkness or years on earth could ever consume. Say hello. Looks like you'll be sticking around for a while. You can read this at my website, oliviapuccini.com. I'll be sure to put a link in the description.